Hi there and welcome back to this channel. In this week's video we are going to learn how to book your transportation for your wedding, so keep watching to learn more. Hi there and welcome back. My name is Chris. I am the manager at Paissa Bernat. On this channel we take you through the steps of wedding planning. We also answer your questions and tour you around the venue. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. In this video, we're going to walk you through the steps on booking your transportation. So let's jump into this video. I wanted to start off this video explaining to you why you should book transportation in Ibiza. So mainly, the taxi services in Ibiza cannot be pre-booked. You would need to call it on the day and wait for it to arrive at the destination you've called for it. Unfortunately, this for an event that has a timeline means that everyone's going to be quite uncertain on when taxis will arrive and when they will arrive at their destination. So with this said, it's better to plan accordingly, budget from the start, and make sure that we supply this service to make the day smooth for your guests and for yourselves as well. Also, let me remind you that at Paissa Bernat we do not provide wedding planning services. However, we do help you with this step. So how it's going to work is that I'm going to be supplying you with a document that you're going to have to fill in, and with this you will send that back to me and we can send that off to make your order. Hopefully with this video, it's very simple. So let's dive into it. Before we get started on the transportation booking form, I would like to invite you back to our website, only because we've added a new feature and I wanted to show you. So if you go to www.paissadenbernat.com, on the top of the bar, you're going to find that there's a new tab here that's called Map. So I'm going to ask you to click on that, and this will bring you to a new embedded map added to the website. Scroll down. Here on the left, upper left corner of the map, you're going to find a menu. On this menu, you can filter what you want to view on the map. So in this case, as default, I have hotels, apartments and hostels, as well as the wedding venue and the guest accommodation area. So that I'm going to start taking off so that you can start seeing a clear map of the island. And I'm only going to include the wedding venue and the pickup points. All the other elements right now I won't be needing. Now, let's zoom in to the areas. So these are predefined pickup points. You can add different points later on. However, these are the ones that the transportation companies recommend. So I would suggest using these where possible. And if not, well, then we will be able to add those on later. So in San Antonio, you have a few options. Lots in the center of San Antonio and then quite a few in the Bay Area, so Portes Torrent and so on. Likewise in Ibiza town, so let me just move over here. You have the same situation. You have pickup points in the center of the city, but also in Talamanca and Playa de Embosa over here. So let's say that you've told your guests to stay in Ibiza town. I would first start off by pre-selecting the choices of pickup points. So we know that we have guests that are staying at Hard Rock Hotel. So this would be one, and I would add that to a list. So pencil and paper and write that down, because this is going to be the reference on the document. So it's exactly the same, written exactly the same there. So make a note of that. So one here, maybe one here, Torre del Mar, and then another one at the very start of Playa de Embosa. You can pick 3 in this area, for example, 1 in the center of Ibiza town. I'm going to choose the port and then write that down, and 1 in the other side of Ibiza, so the Nobu Hotel. Okay, once you've got all of these points, you've pre-selected them. I wouldn't do an extended list. I would just keep it to a few. Then I would say to my guests, pick from these choices, as opposed to giving them the full list of options. Let's open up the transportation order form. So before we dive into this, I would like to tell you that it's important that you start off with the very first tab with suppliers. So as soon as you land on this page, There's information to be filled in, and I'm going to make a scenario here so that you can follow along and see how that happens. So let's say that this is the wedding of Sarah and Tom. I would include here the email addresses, telephone number. Located at is going to be the venue where you're getting ready at. So I'm going to say that Sarah is at Paissa and that Tom is at Calatarida in Sotel, for example. Arrival time at the venue. So both of them are going to arrive at their venues at 10 o'clock. And then if you want to include other social information, you can there. Sarah and Tom are getting married on the 31st of May of 2022. And also here, I have inserted a cell for you to include the sunset time. I think it's quite important that you factor this in. So let's go to Google here, and you only need to put in sunset time Ibiza and then add the date. So in this case, it's 31st of May, 2022, and the sun sets at 21:13. I'm going to take that information and put it in here, 21:13. So with that factored in, we've already got the first set of information included. Now, next is the timings of the day. For this, you need to revisit your quote. So here I have a sample quote. And then at the very bottom of this quote, you can zoom in and you'll find here your timings. So let me zoom that in. This wedding starts at 4 p.m. and it has a 3-hour open bar. So let me close that here and say, not 3 p.m., sorry, 4 p.m. 4 p.m. and it has a 3-hour open bar. If, for example, the wedding was starting an hour earlier, we would say this, and then maybe the cocktail reception has been extended to 2 hours and the open bar is 3.5. So these are multiple options just so that you can play around with it. These two, the reception and the open bar timings, can be shifted around and you can play around with that. And all of these cells are automatic. Oops. So the timings here, they are automatic. It's important that you fill in this information because this is going to divert data to the other tabs of this document. So down below here, I've included some information for you to be able to plan the morning preparations, and that we're able to include that and share it with suppliers. Then the vendor list. Here, please include your vendors when you get a moment, their email address, a telephone number. It is very important that this telephone number is somewhere where I can actually get hold of them. So a number where I can call them, not a WhatsApp number. Arrival time at the venue. So when will they be arriving at Paissa? And then a departure time, just so that we can factor that in. So now we have all the basic information here. You'll want to fill in this as well, but we have got basic information, especially the timings, the date. That's very important. And then also down here, let me mention that you can add bridal brunch and for how many people that we've already started including. Anyway, let's go back to transportation now, because if you come down here, oh, this is here, sorry. The event details would have been pulled in from that very first tab. And here I would ask you to input your invoicing details for the transportation company. Because we're sharing this with a third party, I kindly ask that you put that in again. I know we have got your information on our files, but it's just better this way so that you can, you can authorize that we share that information on this file. Now, how this spreadsheet is kind of broken into is that at the very top, I'm providing you with the rules. So the 1 hour slots and information like that, run through that and read it before you get started. I'm also including in here the venue on Google Maps, the map on the website, and the tutorial for this video. I've also included a list of what the steps are to fill in this form. However, in this video, I'm going to directly dive into it. So Hi there, Chris here from the editing. I wanted to remind you that if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button and also remember to subscribe to the channel, as here we are having every week an ongoing conversation on how better to plan your Ibiza wedding. So if you subscribe, you will make sure that you don't miss any of our videos. And for next week, we'll be talking about all the other tabs that you're going to be finding on this document. So make sure you're tuned in. For now, let's continue with this video. The transportation company has different types of vehicles. So you're going to find that there's 4-seaters, 7-seaters, 11, 16, 18 or 19 seaters. All of them are basically, in terms of the make, the same, except for the standard minibus, which is a little blue minibus. You've probably seen them before. So just so that you can reference that and we can think about what we're going to assign to your vehicles later. If you come down here below, the first thing that you're going to be wanting to do is maybe insert here your pickup points. So we decided that in Ibiza Town and Playa de Embosa, we're going to be doing the Hard Rock Hotel. That was one of our points. Then we also decided that we were going to do Torre del Mar. And let me just, the Port of Ibiza, and one more is going to be the one in the Nobu Hotel. Okay, these are our pickup points in Ibiza. Then in San Antonio, I'm just going to pick up some random ones. So the Ibiza Rocks, for example, come down here and say Bambuku. So we've got 4 pickups in Ibiza, 2 in San Antonio, and moving on, we're going to add 1 in Cala Torrida and 1 in Cala Vedella. For now, that would be okay. Now let's go down. As soon as you start getting your guest confirmation, you're going to want to add their names to the guest list here. You can import that, you can copy and paste that and import that here. And then you're going to want to say, where are they located at? So this is kind of more a note for yourself based on what they've told you. And then you're going to want to assign a pickup point. So this list will pull in from the one above. So in this case, we've got a Playa de Embosa one. So if I scroll up and I'm going to say Torre del Mar. Here's another one, Torre del Mar. This one is San Antonio. This one. Another one in San Antonio. These ones are in Cala Vedella. Here we go. Insertel, and then for the ones that are staying at private villas, so here you have an option to include other options, and this is given from the pickup tab. So you'll have to come to the pickup tab, and all of this is going to be freezed. You can come here and say, okay, so private villa. You're going to have to gather from your guests what the location is. So let's open maps. I'm just going to pick anything. This one, for example. Oh, this one's got a fun name. Canfatti. I'm going to take the address and I'm going to paste that into here. I'm going to call it Villa. What it's called, I like the name, Villa Canfatti. And then you'll have to find the, I'm not going to do all of this right now, I'm just going to fill it in as fast as possible. You're going to have to find the coordinates for that. That is available on Google Maps. And there we go. So that option has been included now. And if I come back to the transportation page, I can say Villa Canfatti, and over here we're going to have the option as well to say Villa Canfatti. There we go. Once every guest has been assigned a pickup point, we have this part of the document which is automatically calculating for you how many people there are at each pickup point. So there is a total here, and then we would start assigning what vehicles are required to each pickup. So let's say that here there was, for example, 10 people, then we would say, right, we're going to need a Lux 11-seater, 1 unit. And that's just how it would go. I've also included down here below extra information, just in case you want to communicate something with us, and then maybe another column that you can change these 2 columns, because actually we don't really require them, but I've included comments here, for example, that they are paying a donation towards the wedding budget. These ones are pending and these ones are invitations. So anything that you want to record here on transportation topic, then you can use that column for yourselves. And with this said, once you have all of this filled in and all of your guests with a designated point, then you can send that off to us and we will revise this section and make sure that all the order is correct. If you can't make it to this point because you're not sure what vehicles it's best to assign, then don't worry, because what we can do is that we can take that head count calculation and break it down to whatever vehicles are better adapted. So as long as you make it to this point, then we're good to go. Then that's when you're going to send me the document back or let me know that I can access it and pull it out so that we can send that for quotation. To finish this video, I wanted to say thank you for everyone for watching, for taking the time, and also if you have any questions, maybe it's worth going back and revisiting that part of the video where you aren't clear on things. I am going to leave a timeline down below in the description notes, so make sure that you revisit each section one by one and take one step at a time. If you have any questions, you can email me, but please make sure that you watch this through, maybe even a couple of times, as it is something new to you. Ensure that you take all the steps described previously, and you can always pin me if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like it, share it, and let's get going. Until next week, take care. Thank you. Bye.